It's the necromancer, Zumag Foom. They locked us in.
Queen Euraxia will be delighted to hear that we have guests.
Oh, look, more cats. I do adore flaying and then roasting the nasty creatures.
If you'll excuse us, we have another member of your party to deal with.
I'm of two minds. I want to watch your cadavers tear these cheeky mudcrabs apart, but I also want to deal with my inferior duplicate. What to do, what to do.
Leave the door to Zamarak. This one will make an end.
More undead!
Go! Zamarak will guard your backs.
Go left while this one goes right. We will meet in the royal chambers.
Destroy me!
Destroy you? No, we're simply correcting a mistake of nature.
We will transfer your duplicate's animus into you, Head. But our time with Queen Euraxia has reached its end. Come along.
Please, not like this. Try smashing these glass baubles. Well, that wasn't pleasant. You go on. I'll be along in a snap. Can you believe the audacity trying to absorb my essence? Really? I'm not quite sure of the particulars. You'd be surprised how little of the necromantic arts I managed to pick up, even after all that time in Cold Harbor. Anyway, I think that vile head wanted, well, me, I suppose. From what I've heard, she really is a terrible ruler. And did you know she's Abner's sister? Family, am I right? The necromancer told the head that it was time to make a deal with a more powerful master, whatever that means. I'm feeling a bit deflated, really. Probably wouldn't be worth a dented soup spoon in a fight right now. Need a bit of a lie down. Maybe two. You go ahead. The royal chambers are right up the stairs. I'll join you as soon as I can.
There. Make haste. Euraxia is in the palace courtyard with Mulamnir. Be cautious. We need to know what Euraxia and the dragon are planning before we attack.
The moon gate you seek lies to the southwest. Zumag Foom has the key. Now, about my request.
The necromancers have already agreed to serve Calgrontid. You no longer interest us, Euraxia Tharn.
How dare you! We had a deal! What's this now? My incompetent half-brother and... Aha! The lost princess returns. Nalado! Here. Your parents have missed you so, Princess.
Mother! No!
I never liked you, Abner. Now do me a favor and just die!
I'll take down that shield. The shield is down.
I'll destroy you all! The runes!
We can mourn Nalado later. I need to see the throne.
Once this all began, I knew Euraxia would need to be dealt with. But sending Chimera's murdered parents against us, death was too easy an end for my half-sister. I'm concerned that the dragons continue to work with the necromancers, though. Half-sister. And do I really seem like the sentimental type to you? Euraxia may be gone, but Mulamnir mentioned his leader, Calgronti. He said the necromancers were helping them, and Euraxia said something about a moon gate to the southwest. Perhaps. The next queen of Anequina said there's no time to mourn the dead, but I worry what happened here could affect her judgment. Let's get to the throne room and try to figure out why the dragons need necromancers and a moon gate.
Matters must concern us now. May the dark take Euraxia! She sent my own parents against us, and killed the brave and honorable Nalado! But we have no time to mourn. We must determine what the dragons seek at the ancient moon gate. Do not presume to tell me how I should feel. I am the queen now, and I do not have the luxury or the time to grieve. Fiveclaw, those were not my parents. They were animated husks, nothing more. And I will remember Nalado's sacrifice after we finish saving Elsweyr from the dragons. You are still with me in this, Fiveclaw. You and Abner Thorn both. We ended one threat, but two more remain. I will go on without you, but I would rather have you at my side for what is to come. The war is far from over. Even a queen needs to consult with such learned personages as Gareshri and Abner Thorn every now and then. Take this in recognition of your efforts on our behalf, Fiveclaw. Then talk to Gareshri. I need to think. This throne. For too long, a tyrant has sat upon it. But now...
The men must recognize you as the heir of Anequina. But the people already cheer your name.
Labyrinth? Did I miss anything?
When I was a little girl, I played in this room. I pretended that Joan and Jode spoke to me over there, beneath the statues. After Euraxia's coup, I dreamed of this moment, when I could reclaim my father's empty throne. Because... Ah, damn it, Fiveclaw! I need a moment to think! To let everything that just occurred sink in. Besides, it takes more than sitting on a throne to make a queen. I need to consider my next actions very carefully. Do you think I have not asked myself that very same question? Joan and Jode, we had to kill my parents again. And Captain Nalado, she died so that I could live. If I can be half as brave as she was. Oh, Moons, what kind of queen thinks like this? That is kind of you to say, Five Claw. I hope my people feel the same way. No matter. My people need a queen, and here I am. Ready or not, I am the only one left to take the throne. Now, let me prepare myself for what is to come.
A word, Five Claw.
Zumog Foom has been collecting my original body parts. He tried to steal my essence and stick it back in my old noggin. I think he's trying to put me back together. Well, not me, the other me, the betrayer. Must I? Oh, very well. My memories are rather muddled, but it seems that in life I was rather a distasteful chap. I was a knight, a champion. I helped people, mostly, but mostly I helped myself. Truth be told, I was a right and utter bastard. I had a friend, I think, another hero of the age, one of these lovely cat people, went by the name of Kunzai Ri. I helped him do something or other. Then, when he least expected it, I stabbed him in the back, literally. That's another of those blank spaces in my memory. I have no idea why the vile person I used to be would commit such a dastardly deed. You know, once we find my head, we need to ask it about that, right before we toss it into a roaring fire.
Queen Kamira went through a difficult trial just now, but she will be stronger because of it. Thank you for standing beside her, Five Claw. Now Zamarak will tell Kamira the truth. How this one served as the king's claw and kept her safe during Euraxia's coup. If she accepts, I will take the same position in her court. If not, this one will guard her anyway, just from a distance.
Kamira's parents would be proud of how she has stepped forward in these dark times. Moons, I am proud of her. While Kamira gathers her thoughts, the rest of us have work to do. Tell me, what happened in the palace? You bring news both welcome and grim. But we can neither celebrate a victory nor mourn the good captain until later, I fear. We need to determine why the dragons are willing to associate with wielders of dark magic. Could they be interested in the moon gate of Nequina? It lies in that direction. I wonder if this pertains to Euraxia's final order. A soldier mentioned it after we captured her, but she refused to elaborate. Maybe you can help Tharn find out more. Even now, Abnor Tharn searches through the documents in the royal study, seeking information concerning this final order. Despite his show of indifference, Euraxia was his half-sister. Her death is bound to affect him. I suggest that you tread warily. Worried? No. That would imply I had any feelings toward the man whatsoever. I'd say I'm more concerned that his nonchalant attitude toward his sister's death might be hiding his true emotions. I trust that he's here to help, but he's still a Tharn.
When you look at the world as lines on a map, it all seems so small and insignificant. I was trying to determine the meaning of this document, but so far the secret eludes me. I found a letter, but it's not complete. Looks like a scribe's dictation. I've been searching for more, but I haven't made much progress through the royal stacks. With your help, perhaps the search will go more quickly. It alludes to an order Euraxia was preparing to deliver shortly before our assault on the palace. It mentions a Captain S, the Cygnus Irregulars, and a favor for the dragons, but gives no indication as to who they are or what the favor might be. We did what had to be done. Think no more about it. If you hadn't ended Euraxia, I certainly would have. Now, look around and see if you can find anything pertaining to this unfinished letter. I'm sure it refers to Euraxia's final order. This study contains documents from when the Khajiit ruled Rimmon, as well as papers that cover the span of Euraxia's rule. So many, many papers. She was a prolific writer, I'll give her that. At least she didn't destroy her files before she died. Anything pertaining to this so-called final order. While we're looking around, let's see if we can find anything that mentions the dragons, the necromancers, or anything significant. Who knows? We might uncover something unexpectedly helpful. Captain Sorlinia. That must be Captain S. And the Cygnus Irregulars are Imperial troops under the command of Prefect Kalo at Sandswirl Manor. Old Khajiiti legends and rumors of a last dragon guard. Intriguing. Control dragons? What folly. But what was that about killing the last dragon guard? I think you found everything I need to fill in the blanks. Let's talk. The documents you uncovered allow me to make sense of this unfinished dictation. I believe I now know the contents of Euraxia's final order. Euraxia ordered Captain Sorlinia to assassinate a dragon guard in an effort to appease the dragons. Sorlinia plans to commandeer as many additional soldiers as necessary from Prefect Kalo at Sandswirl Manor and retrieve a report. Neither do I, at least not fully. The Dragon Guard were the sworn protectors of the Imperial Emperor. At least they were until they fell out of favor. Euraxia has ordered her assassins to murder what she claims to be the last Dragon Guard. Don't ask me. The Dragon Guard I knew failed to protect the potentates and were disbanded in disgrace. They claimed to have descended from legendary Akaviri dragon hunters. But that's all it was. A legend. We need to get to Sandswirl Manor. We can't take any chances. Euraxia's final order directs her assassins to murder the last Dragon Guard. If the dragons consider this threat real, we need it on our side. Meet me west of the city, on the outskirts of Sandswirl Manor. Kalo is mentioned in Garesh Rhee's intelligence reports. He commands a garrison of troops in an estate seized when they conquered the region. As for Sorlinia, I've never heard of her. But an assassination squad, they're never a good thing.
Are the people of Rimmon cowards?
They're just afraid, Chimera. Remember, The dragons still darken the skies overhead.
But we need to replenish our forces. I fear there are more battles ahead.
You carry the weight of the kingdom, Chimera, but the crown is not yet yours.
Yes, yes. I must be recognized by the Main and Queen Eren. Which reminds me, has the Dominion sent us any aid?
A few advisors, some gold, but no troops. We are on our own.
Give me good news, Five Claw. I could use some right about now. Dragon Guard. I leave this investigation to you and Tarn. Gareshri and I need to figure out how to bolster our defenses and prepare our forces. He even wants to send troops to defend the moon gate of Anequina. Unfortunately, we are only a small part of Queen Eren's domain. She sent us advisors and gold to purchase weapons and mercenaries, but her troops are committed to the Alliance war. I will convince my people to join the militia. I have to.
Chimera and I must work to win the hearts and minds of the people of Rimmon. And I still need to discover the significance of the moon gate of Anequina. Perhaps I'll send some troops to defend the place. Just in case.
This one will watch over Queen Chimera. She may not have agreed to let Zamorak resume his post as the King's Claw yet, but she will come around in time. Until then, no harm will befall the Queen. This Zamorak so swears.
I found a set of round orb-like objects sitting on a forgotten shelf here in the palace. They're the perfect shape for juggling. Turns out I'm good at juggling. Who knew? And I find it strangely soothing after all that mayhem and fisticuffs.
Saved the main at Drilladan Pass. This one's friend was among the soldiers there.
Rari cannot tell you how many times an outsider has cooed and crooned and even attempted to coddle him. This one, a fully grown Alfreak. Their ignorance continues to astound.
Ooh, so close. Better luck next time, friend. Hey, you're back. I was just wrapping up my business with these fine Khajiit. Did you find the note? Where's Tuheba? Huh. Makes sense. We hit the Uraxian treasure caravan just outside Riverhold. She'd want to be as far away from there as possible. Good. Darkpool Mine is in southwestern Elsweyr. Tuheba favors the wilderness, so you may have to search a bit. What can I say? What I lack in charm, I make up for in luck. This gold should more than pay for Fez's release. I'm trusting you to deliver it. You could keep it, sure, but this is pocket change compared to what we'll make on the jewel. Once I settle my accounts with these folks, I'll make my way to the mine. Don't worry about finding me. I'll find you. As for Tuheba, show respect, but stand your ground. She appreciates a little swagger. Just don't overthink it and you'll be fine. All right, cats and kittens. Like my Uncle Edmund always says, best walk while you're ahead. You have yourselves a great night, huh?
Aye, not so soon, Pinkskin. You have yet to play the Ibiza.
Look, it's been a real pleasure playing with you, but I got a friend waiting on me. How about we pick things up tomorrow, huh? Double or nothing?
Well, you will at least let the Ibiza and Sherjad walk you home, yes? The streets of Rimmon are no place for a lone Breton with heavy pockets.
You know, that's a generous offer, and I'm truly flattered. But you really don't need to worry. I'm spry as a cricket. Pockets light, pockets heavy, whatever.
Enough! Sit, now! Do not take us for fools, Jakarn.
Don't worry, good-looking. I've got this handled. Go do what we talked about, huh?
An Imperial garrison housed in a Khajiit estate. My half-sister spared no expense, I see. Prefect Kalo commands a full complement of soldiers, mostly seasoned Imperials and not the Nibonese mercenaries that make up Euraxia's main forces. It's probable that Solinia and her assassination squad is here as well, so I advise caution. I prefer to avoid unnecessary bloodshed, of course, but these are enemy forces. We must do what we must to complete our mission. I'll work my way down from the upper levels of the house. You find your own entrance and we'll meet somewhere inside. Try not to alert the entire garrison to our presence, and keep an eye out for Captain Solinia or anything related to Euraxia's final order. We need to determine where the assassination squad plans to strike if we're going to save the Dragon Guard. As I said, the Dragon Guard I knew were the Emperor's protectors. I suspect this has more to do with legends that speak of their role as dragon hunters of old. Idle speculation isn't going to accomplish anything. If I were younger... I feel the weight of my years, and it gets worse the longer this goes on. In my younger days, I would have already corralled the dragons and banished the necromancers to a forgotten plane of oblivion. Enough of this. I'll meet you inside.
Kalo's pet cats. Time to make me a fur coat.
What? Intruders!
How good of you to join me. Let's talk. We need to speak quickly. I doubt I'll remain undiscovered for very long. This projection, a simple spell. Nothing to it, really. But that's not what I want to discuss. I'm hiding in an empty servant's quarters at the moment. I discovered that Prefect Kalo is no longer in charge here. In fact, he's been arrested. That's the thing. Prefect Kalo isn't really one of the Euraxians. His cohort of Imperials accompanied my half-sister into Rimmon, but he's been a vocal opponent of her coup and subsequent claim of rulership. Apparently, he refused another order. Kalo's probably being held on one of the lower levels. See if you can find him. He should be able to tell us more about the Dragon Guard and Solinia's orders. Wait a moment. I'm about to have company. I'll find my way to you as soon as I can.
Interesting. I'm Prefect Kalo, commander of the Cygnus Irregulars. And you're that outsider working with the Khajiit militia. I expected you hours ago. Well, let's not dawdle. You have an assassination squad to stop, I assume, so if you'd open my cell? It's elementary. I pay attention to every significant event that occurs in the region. Comes with my job description. I have agents, spies, and informers from Riverhold to Rimmon. The dossier on you could choke a Wamasu. Now, about this door? I'm an Imperial without an Emperor. My cohort was assigned to accompany Euraxia on a fact-finding mission. She turned it into a conquest. I tried to temper her more violent tendencies, but her mercenaries outnumber my legionaries by a wide margin. I refused a direct order. Wouldn't give Solinia my soldiers or my file on the last Dragon Guard. So, here I am. How about this? You can find a copy of the report in my office. If the information it contains helps you, then come back and set me free. I'm a reasonable man. I have no great love for this land, but neither do I want to see it destroyed. Dragons were the last straw. In other words, this is me making a stand. You can find a copy of the Dragon Guard report in my office upstairs. She burst into my office with orders from Euraxia, demanded I provide soldiers to support her assassination squad, then commanded that I turn over my file on this so-called last Dragon Guard. I politely refused both requests, and she had me arrested. An elite unit of mercenaries. They're rabid dogs that Euraxia points at her enemies. They like to kill, and they're extremely good at it. With the urging of the dragons, she pointed them at their current target, the so-called Last Dragon Guard. Well, that puts a new spin on the situation. Solinia took my file. Then she and her soldiers went to assassinate this supposed Last Dragon Guard to appease Euraxia's dragon allies. There's a copy of the file in my office, but I suggest you hurry. Conquer Rimmon? Euraxia was sent on imperial business to a province that owed us fealty. There was no reason to conquer a place we historically controlled. No. She decided to make her own play for power while Emperor Varen was otherwise engaged. It was complicated. Look, our quick visit turned into an invasion. Euraxia contracted an army of Nibonese mercenaries to back her up. And then the Emperor disappeared and his empire collapsed. We were stuck here without orders or assistance. Not much. I never got around to reviewing the report. You can read it yourself in my office. For some reason, this rumor of a last Dragon Guard inspired Euraxia's ire. Maybe because the legends say they were once renowned dragon hunters? I see you found the report. Now we can continue our conversation without being separated by those inconvenient bars.
He surrendered without a fight?
Don't look so shocked. My irregulars are very good at what they do. It was simple enough for them to sneak in and set me free. Now, what did you learn from the report? Anything that will help us stop Captain Solinia and her assassination squad? As I said, we were never willing participants in Euraxia's conquest of Northern Elsweyr. My irregulars did as little as possible to advance her agenda, and we worked to sabotage it as often as not. Besides, have you forgotten about the dragons? The dragons won't stop after they kill or subjugate the Khajiit. We're in as much danger as everyone else. If Lord Garesh-Ri pardons my soldiers, we'll help fight the dragons. But we're going to need the Dragon Guard. Do you know where he is? Grand Chancellor, I propose that you get Garesh-Ri to pardon the Cygnus Irregulars so we can form an alliance.
An alliance? Interesting. Comrades would be helpful in the battles to come. I'll return to Rimmon, plead Kalo's case, and send someone to help you. Meanwhile, I suggest you start your search for the shrine at the Stitches. I'll take the prefect to Rimmon and see if I can negotiate an alliance between him and Chimera. We could use the help, but I'm not sure our young queen will agree. Meanwhile, you need to go to the Scar and find that shrine before the assassins do. Well, news of Euraxia's death has reached her mercenaries. For the most part, they've decided that Zumog Foom is their new leader, and they're willing to do whatever the dragons say. I suppose they think that's better than being eaten. Trust? We'll have to see. From what I've learned here in the manor, though, it's evident that Kalo and his irregulars have no love or respect for Euraxia's mercenaries. That counts for something. Mistakes happen. They're a fact of life. But Prefect Kalo is a trained Imperial soldier. I know his type well. Unlike the Euraxian mercenaries, he'll be as good as his word. And if not, I'll turn him into a mud crab.
Captain Solinia and her assassins left the estate shortly before you arrived. If you're gonna catch them before they find and kill the last Dragon Guard, you really ought to get a move on. I've been nothing but helpful since you met me. Besides, I give you my word as an Imperial officer. I pledge myself and the Cygnus Irregulars to the service of the new Khajiit Queen for the duration of the dragon infestation. Then, I haven't given it much thought. To tell you the truth, I don't expect us to survive whatever it is the dragons are up to. If we happen to find a way to win the day, I'll extend my offer of an alliance for as long as the Queen will have us. Just what was in the report. No, wait a moment. There was something else. I didn't connect the two until just now. A merchant in the Stitches was selling actual Akaviri relics, claimed to have found them in a cave in the western section of the Scar. As you can probably guess, Euraxia didn't go out of her way to consult with me, especially after I refused to turn over command of the Irregulars. From what I gathered, she and her necromancer, Zumag Fum, had or knew something the dragons wanted. Most likely something that Zumag Fum has promised to deliver, seeing as he's still in league with the dragons. I couldn't figure out what it was, but it must have something to do with the creepy floating head that follows the necromancer around.
Congratulations on finding the finest cloth merchant in all of Riverhold. Thadara can see that you are in desperate need of a renovation. Thadara was wondering how much longer she would need to keep this stinking thing in her shop. Thadara doesn't know what's inside, but it smells like hot horse cheeks. Your friend Rigger told you about the delivery fee, yes? The courier who brought Rigger's rotten package was promised payment upon delivery. Thadara assumed someone would eventually come to claim its disgusting contents, so she paid the fee herself. It's only fair that Thadara be reimbursed, yes? You can see the courier's invoice for yourself. Thadara wouldn't want you to think you are being cheated. Everything seems correct, yes? Thank you, friend. Thadara had doubts about accepting a strange package that smells like curdled dog slobber, but it felt like the right thing to do. Please visit again if you'd like Thadara to help with your embarrassing sense of style.
Chief! That's the one from Rimen. The one that deals with Jakarn.
Jakarn! Where Jakarn? Stupid Breton. No tails to bite. None!
Is what Akan says true? Do you find common cause with the Breton Jakarn? I should warn you. People who travel with Jakarn rarely meet pleasant ends. Ha! A ransom, is it? And why would anyone pay gold for that foolish backstabber? Ah, let me guess. Jakarn believes Fethkar will lead you to the Jewel of Bandar if you free him. Because they are friends, yes? Adorable. Ha ha ha! You are direct. Good. I will be direct also. Give me this ransom of yours. If it is a fragrant sum, I will tell you where to find Fethkar. Beyond that, I offer nothing. Now, shall we do business, or shall I tell Akan and Eljon to remove you? Fethkar would not give up the gem, so we sold them to a slave trader. The slaver died, but his ledger should contain the name of Fethkar's new owner. Look for it in Darkpool Mine. What is that look? You paid for information, I provided it. Go now. I would be careful in Darkpool Mine, sweetmeat. Soft-headed cultists took it over shortly after we sold your friend. That is how the slave trader died. The cultists tug on Maroon's tail, in hopes he will scratch their bellies. Pathetic. No, we could not. This troubles me, because I take great pride in my creativity. People always speak, eventually. But something sealed his lips tight as a drum. Something more than simple force of will. A small-time cut purse withstands hours of aggressive interrogation, then suffers enslavement to protect his prize? A simple gem? No, this does not add up. That jewel has buried its claws in your friend. I do not know how or why, but it has. I did not, but I do now. This will not stop me from claiming it eventually, though. Charms like this only work on weak minds. My mind is far from weak. Mind your tone. Akkad loves cutting out self-righteous tongues. You are an outsider, so I will assume you speak from ignorance. Bandar rewards the clever and frowns on the clumsy. Fethkar, despite his charms, was clumsy. There you are, spoken like a true child of Bandar. Fethkar and I made a bargain in good faith. Fethkar reneged on that bargain in the dull-witted fashion that is his trademark. His clumsiness and dishonesty made him a slave, not me. From what Akan tells me, Jakarn did not know Fethkar betrayed us. Good news for Jakarn, yes? Return my gem, and I will consider showing your clever friend some leniency. I make no promises, though.